Hi everyone, just making a video to show off a couple of Super Nintendo games that I've got that are quite interesting, I think. But before I get there, I just want to tell a little story, maybe a warning, about something that happened to my Super Nintendo. So I recently got in a copy of R-Type 3 from Japan and I was really excited to play it. And when I play games, I have my systems connected to an XRGB 3, which is a scaler, Japanese scaler. And the thing about Japanese RGB is that although they have plugs that look just like this, they are called RGB21, and over in Europe we call these SCART. And they are actually wired up differently. The pins have different lines going to them. Specifically, there are lines that carry voltages that go to completely different lines in European systems. Which means that if you connect up a European system directly to a Japanese SCART socket, sorry, RGB21 socket, you will more than likely cook whatever you connected to it. And I've been using my XRGB3 for quite a while now, and I've never made this mistake before, but anyway, I guess I was quite excited and I just plugged in the Super Nintendo, got the game in, switched it on, ready to go, and nothing, black screen. So I thought that was a bit strange. Hope the game's alright. I reseated it a couple of times, not a lot of difference. And then I looked at the connections and it suddenly realised, it dawned on me what I'd done. And I was like, oh shit. Plugged it into the television, nothing going on. I realised that it was dead. I'd fried it. Normally I had this adapter cable which goes Japanese RGB21 on one end and SCART on the other end. So normally I'm using that to connect my devices, but I just forgot to this one time. So a somewhat important lesson was taught to me, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. I managed to get a replacement Super Nintendo. The case was in a really bad shape, which was a shame because it was more grey than the one I have, but scratched to hell and really mucky. This was overall in a better shape, so I took the motherboard out of that one and put it into here, and now I can play my games again. So let's get on with it. These are a couple of games I wanted to show off. Street Fighter Alpha 2 PAL copy for the Super Nintendo, and R-Type 3 a Japanese copy for the Super Famicom. Okay, so I've got this in a universal game case. There's the cart. You can see it's got the extra pins because this has a chip inside it to help the game. It's I forget the exact name for it, but its job is for decompressing data. So it's a 32 megabit ROM with double data compression. So there's 64 megabits of data, and it's got a chip in here that does decompression on the fly. So they can fit a lot more data into a smaller ROM. There are some loading times when you play the game, but they're not so bad, and you can see that when I show you quickly. Let's take a quick look. Just going to jump in the options menu first. Alright, who to be? Let's go with my favorite kickboxer, Saga. There's that famous loading pause that this game is known for. Whoa, cancelled it. I remember some years ago, back when the Super Nintendo was coming to the end of its shelf life, I actually saw this game in a bargain bin for, I don't think it was very much, and I remember being quite surprised that, oh wow, did they put Alpha 2 out on the Super Nintendo? That was not really aware that they had done that, but you know, I was playing my PlayStation by then, so I passed it on. I really wish I'd picked it up because its complete copy is worth quite a bit these days. And yeah, I think this is quite an impressive port. I mean, there's some odd things about it. Oh, come on. There we go. There's a few odd things about it. Obviously, there are quite large black borders at the top and the bottom, and this is an NTSC timing, so it's 60 Hertz. Although this is a PAL copy of the game, but running at 60 Hertz, this is what it would look like on an American screen. So it still has these borders. Maybe that's a performance reason, but it's not such a big deal. The other thing is, you notice that there are some quiet spots in this game where there's like no music playing, just like that. And then of course the loading times. But you know, these are all little, honestly they're little things, and should not take away from the fact that these developers managed to get Alpha 2 onto the SNES. So yeah, I think this is quite a neat game for the Super Nintendo, and I knew I had to pick it up, being a big Street Fighter fan, and also wanting to see just what they managed to do with the port. Alright, I'm gonna do another rather scrappy looking round fighting Charlie here. Oh man, I blew it. Alright. That's Street Fighter Alpha 2 on the Super Nintendo. Here's R-Type 3, the third Lightning. The Japanese Super Famicom version. I've got this in a universal game case. I made this insert myself. Very hard to find a good quality scan of the Japanese front cover, which looks way cooler than the US and European cover, which just looks kind of terrible in my opinion. A complete copy of this game will set you back quite a bit of money, so I just picked up the loose cart, which is less than half of the cost of the complete one, because I mostly just really wanted the game to play, and I have, like, I guess a complete R-Type collection mostly. I'm missing the like tactics titles on the PSP, but I'm not really so bothered about those. So, R-Type 3. R-Type 3. Let's have a look. Three different forces you can choose from here. I'm going to go with the third one. They each have different properties. I love that intro. Short but very cool. And then we get a rocky version of R-Type's soundtrack. Or theme, I guess. So you have the standard charge, beam, attack. But in R-Type 3 you can also charge it up to a second level, and you get a more powerful blast. I'll show you soon. Takes a little while to get there, but it's well worth it because it's really powerful. Boom, dead. Be patient, and this guy's going to get a little surprise. Boom! Right, now I'm going to want to get the split laser, which should be coming soon. It's really useful because of all the turrets that are stuck on the walls. You can get them before they shoot at you with this gun. This is quite a difficult opening level. It takes a lot of practice. I mean, I still don't very often at all make it through without dying, and you know, it's like a lot of these kind of games that if you die, then you've basically had it, because you lose all of your weapons and everything, and then you end up, if you're lucky enough to get to the boss, you end up doing it with a pea shooter or something. So, being careful is the key. Let's see I don't screw up. I hope I don't. There's also a lot of things that will outright kill you if you don't know they're coming. Things like that, for instance. Like this yellow bell thing here is another thing to look out for. You must never get in a straight line with it. Oh no! Oh, oh dear. I made a mistake. I thought that was not what it was, and now I am probably going to snuff it because I hate this gun. Extra life. Please give me a different gun. Oh, thank you. Whew. Right, I'm not going to go anywhere near that. Ah, great, a bit. Boss time. Come on. See how powerful that double shows? 2 blasts of that took it out. Okay, well, I'm really amazed I managed to film it and not die. And you get a moment's breath before you're straight into area 2. Alright, I'm gonna go till I die, which will probably be quickly. Oh! Okay, so that was my own fault. Backed into the wall. Well, that's R-Type 3. It's loose. Getting hold of this game loose, it's not that expensive. It's a lot more expensive than most loose SNES games. But it's a great shooter. It really is. Sounds great, looks great. Finding a complete copy of this is just mad expensive. But if you like good shooters, I recommend giving it a go. So, that's it. Thanks.